Okay, good morning, everyone. That's the time that we can wait for most of our classmates to join. Thanks a lot, Ms. Palacios, Mr. Sotomayor, and the others, please follow the good example. Thank you for your cameras on. Remember that on that depends your attendance. Yep, as much as possible during the class, have your cameras on. Last class, we made actually, you made a great activity describing your activities or your feelings regarding education at certain moments of your life. I remember good thoughts about the uniform, that especially for the ladies, obviously in most of the schools is more complicated. Yeah, the boys got it depending on the school, because here we got a couple of students at the military school, but then most of the boys get a more relaxed condition for the uniform. So that was the activity that we worked on. You made a little presentation, little exposition of your education feelings and background related to these questions. Yeah, let's continue then. And what we get is related to listening. Today we're going to start on this part. Yep, let me write it down. As usual, remember your contribution to the class give you the chance of having second attempts in some activities, just in case. Okay, so today we start on 7A, section of listening, and we start on activity 3B. Okay, there we're gonna move on to activity 3B. Listen to part 1 of a radio program about the experiment and answer the questions. So let's take a look.
(4.8) Part 1.
Gareth had only 8 weeks for the experiment, during which time he would be teaching 3 days a week. His aim was to try to improve the boys' reading age by 6 months. On the other 2 days, the boys would have normal lessons with the girls. His plan was based on his own experience of being a learner and from talking to educational experts. He had 3 main principles. First, that it was essential to make the work feel like play. If I can do that, the boys will learn, said Gareth. The second principle was competition. Gareth says, boys absolutely love competition. It has gone out of fashion in British schools, but I think it's really important. Boys have to learn to lose and to fail and to come back from that. If you've never done that until you fail your A-levels, or until you go for your first job interview and don't get the job, then you've got a problem. The third thing Gareth thought was important was to allow boys to take risks, all kinds of risks. Not just physical risks like climbing trees, but doing things like acting in front of other people. Doing things which are a bit scary, but which are very motivating if you manage to do them.
Okay, there you have the audio track for the first time. Now we're gonna listen again, but we're gonna stop as we find out some of the answers to the questions. Yep.
4.8 Part 1.
Gareth had only 8 weeks for the experiment.
As we just started, there you have one answer. So what is the answer for the first question?
3 weeks.
Exactly. So that's what we type in, right? Let's use it lowercase. 8 weeks. Okay. There we have the first. Let's continue listening to the track. And once again, as we are finding some of the answers to the questions we got in here.
during which time he would be teaching 3 days a week. His aim was to try to improve the boy's reading age by 6 months.
Literally, there you get the second answer.
Improving the boy's English.
Exactly. So his aim was to improve the boy's reading age by 6 months. Yep, let me just backward a little bit to listen to that part again.
During which time he would be teaching 3 days a week. His aim was to try to improve the boy's reading age by 6 months. On the other 2 days,
There you have it, right? Like the full answer to the second. That is the aim. The aim is the objective, just in case. Let's continue to find the answer, the 3 components of the answer for question 3.
days, the boys would have normal lessons with the girls. His plan was based on his own experience of being a learner and from talking to educational experts. He had 3 main principles. First, that it was essential to make the work feel like play.
What about the first? Let's listen one more time.
He had 3 main principles. First, that it was essential to make the work feel like play.
There you have the first. To make the work feel like, feel like play. Okay. Here, let me the space. There you go. To make the work feel like play. That is like the first thing that is important for him, right? Let's see. Let's find out the second.
If I can do that, the boys will learn, said Gareth. The second principle was competition.
Simple. One word directly.
Competition.
Exactly. Competition. And let's find out the third component.
Gareth says boys absolutely love competition. It has gone out of fashion in British schools, but I think it's really important.
So one more time.
Competition. Gareth says boys absolutely love competition. It has gone out of fashion in British schools, but I think it's really important. Boys have to learn to lose and to fail and to come back from that. If you've never done that until you fail your A-levels or until you go for your first job interview and don't get the job, then you've got a problem. The third thing Gareth thought was important was to allow boys to take risks, all kinds.
There we have the third. One more time, let me listen to that part.
For your first job interview and don't get the job, then you've got a problem. The third thing Gareth thought was important was to allow boys to take risks, all kinds of risks, not just.
There you have it. Yep, to allow the boys to take risks. Yep, let me check mine to see what we got. Okay. In here, his aim was to improve the boys. You see plural for the boys. If you have the same problem, let me know, yep, to recheck manually. The second one, the boys, plural. and then we have the apostrophe for the possessive, right? The boys, reading age by 6 months. Anyone that needs like that I check it manually, specifically in that question, just take a look. I get already 3 attempts. Perfect. Remember the magic number is 12. So let's start now. Yep, let's take some minutes for all of you to work on this one. Okay, there we have it. I go back to the platform 7A. You just help me out working on the first activity of the listening section. Remember that we are right here. Yep. So that was activity 3B. Listen to part 1 of a radio program about the experiment and answer the question, the one that we just worked on. Let's take a look at part 3C. Yep, let me write it down. So we have a full report on that. Yep. Activity 3C. So let me open my attempt so we can take a look at it. I start my attempt. And let's take a look. In here, listen to part 2 and, well, kind of the same idea or methodology, right? We listen to the track and we complete the requirements. Yep. Gareth made some general changes, for example, then we have 2 answers, and then we have minor gaps to complete 3 sentences or statements. To improve their language skills, he organized, and then we have those. Yep. So let's listen to the track and we complete.
4.9. Part 2.
When Gareth started, he made some changes to the way the children were learning. The boys spent a lot of time outside, and they did PE, physical education, every day before normal lessons began. They even made their own outdoor classroom. Gareth also tried to involve the boys' parents as much as possible in their education, and he visited them at their homes on several occasions. Gareth set up 3 major activities for the boys to help improve their language skills. The first activity was a school debating competition against the girls. The topic that the children had to debate was computer games should be banned. When they started to prepare for the debate, the boys weren't very enthusiastic, but soon they started to get more involved. In the end, the girls won the debate, but the boys had learned to argue and make points, to express themselves better. They were disappointed not to have won, but they wanted to do it again. Next, Gareth organised a reading World Cup, where the boys had to read in teams. Some of the boys couldn't read very well, but they all got very excited about the World Cup and became much more enthusiastic readers. There was a prize for the winners, and this really motivated the boys. Finally, the boys, working with the girls, had to write their own play and perform it at the local theatre. The play they wrote was about Romans and aliens. All the children, boys and girls, worked really hard, and although some of them felt very nervous before they performed the play, it was a great success, and the boys especially were thrilled. Gareth said afterwards, "It was a risk, and it was scary, but it was good scary."
We have time to listen one more time to the track, another occasion the track, and then we work together on some of the answers. Yep.
4.9. Part 2.
When Gareth started, he made some changes to the way the children were learning. The boys spent a lot of time outside, and they did PE, physical education, every day before normal lessons began. They even made their own outdoor classroom. Gareth also tried to involve the boys' parents as much as possible in their education, and he visited them at their homes on several occasions. Gareth set up 3 major activities for the boys to help improve their language skills. The first activity was a school debating competition against the girls. The topic that the children had to debate was computer games should be banned. When they started to prepare for the debate, the boys weren't very enthusiastic, but soon they started to get more involved. In the end, the girls won the debate, but the boys had learned to argue and make points, to express themselves better. They were disappointed not to have won, but they wanted to do it again. Next, Gareth organised a reading World Cup, where the boys had to read in teams. Some of the boys couldn't read very well, but they all got very excited about the World Cup and became much more enthusiastic readers. There was a prize for the winners, and this really motivated the boys. Finally, the boys, working with the girls, had to write their own play and perform it at the local theatre. The play they wrote was about Romans and aliens. All the
Up to there, you have it. I helped you out with the first 2 because it's very specific information and not all that we listen. Yep. Gareth made some general changes. For example, the boys spent a lot of time outside and the physical education every day before normal lessons begin. There we have the full answer. Yep, that is an extract of what we listen to, of course. Once again, the changes, for example, the changes this teacher is making to the whole process of the day and the class. We have the boys spent a lot of time outside and did physical education every day before normal lessons begin. Yep, that is the first. And the second one, Gareth tried to involve boys' parents as much as possible in their education. So there you have the first 2. So you can complete the others, right? The others are 2 words, 1 word, so it's easier. So let's start on this one. You can listen again to the track, of course, and you have my little help on the first 2. Yep. The number 1, the boys spent a lot of time outside and did physical education every day before normal lessons begin. Yep. And the second, there you have it, Gareth tried to involve boys' parents as much as possible in their education. Yep. Please proceed on the other 3. Starting now, we got 10 minutes to work on it. Yep. I leave there for 1 more minute, the first 2 answers, so you can have some guide on it. Okay, time to move on. Let's continue. I go back to the main platform, working on activity or unit 7A. All right, and you just help me out finishing the activity related to the listening section 3C. Yep. Listen to part 2. That's the one we work on. Now, this activity is speaking. You have it on flip. What is it? Here is the description, right? Mentions in groups of 3, but you're going to make it individually. What is it? We have different topics, the ones that are in different color. An example, boys and girls both learn better in single-sex schools. So schools only for boys, schools only for girls. They learn better in that way. Yep. Cooking and housework should be taught at a school. Physical education should be optional. Yep. And children spend too much time at the school on maths and IT and not enough on things like music, art, and drama. Yep. So you have schools should let children wear whatever they want at a school. A school don't teach children the important things they need. A school summer holiday should be shorter. There you have different topics. Yep. This activity is what is based on flip. On flip, you have it under the title, agree or disagree. I open the activity, and this is the instruction, right? Based on section 4, speaking, what I show you, what you got on the platform. Select one of the topics and state your opinion for minimum 1 minute. If you don't get to the minimum, obviously you don't have the 10, then comes proportional. So one of the conditions is minimum 1 minute. Now, once again, the activity is based on these. Choose one topic, 2 topics, and tell me why you agree or disagree. Yeah, let's work with 2 topics so you can complete the minute. But once again, I don't want you to tell me boys and girls both learn better in single-sex school. I agree. The school should let children wear whatever they want at the school. I disagree. No, you have to tell me reasons. Yeah, that's why you're going to concentrate on 2 topics. From this list, you select 2 topics. With that information, you're going to record your video on here. Yep, the page that we have, right? The flip activity that we have as usual in here. Let me put it in the chat, your link, so you can work directly from there, just in case. I'm gonna copy in the chat right now your link, so you can join flip. Yep. So this is the activity we are working on. Please remember the minimum. Yep, the minute. That is quite important. Select 2 topics from this list and agree or disagree for 1 minute. Okay? Starting now, I give you the super offer of 10 minutes to make a video of 1. So you have 5 minutes, 6, 7 minutes to plan your script, what you're going to say, and then you record your activity. Questions about the activity, please? Okay, I'm gonna take that silence like I gave the best explanation ever in the history of this activity. So everything is clear. Okay, starting now, I'm gonna be quiet. Any question, use the chat. We work on flip. The activity is on flip here, the link that I put in the chat. Okay, agree or disagree, that is based on this list of options. Choose only 2, and you give me my video for minimum 1 minute. Starting now, I'm gonna be quiet so you can record your video. Okay, let's continue. Let me go back to the platform. This is the activity you helped me out on Flip. Yep, we got a very prudential time to work on it. So let's continue. Last week we discussed a little bit about the future forms, especially the first conditional. Yep. We have here some practice related to the questions, so you can work on it. And then we're gonna observe the following, yeah, related to the grammar itself. But let's listen to some tracks, and then we're gonna answer some of these questions, okay?
(4.11) Olivia.
What subjects did you take?
Physics, chemistry, maths and biology.
Do you think you've passed?
I'm sure I've passed, but I'm worried about what grades I'll get.
Why?
Because I want to study medicine at university at Cambridge, and they won't give me a place unless I get at least 3 A's.
Do you think you'll get them?
I don't know. I think I did okay, but I'm a bit worried about maths.
When will you get your results?
Tomorrow, by post.
.12 Tomasz.
What exam did you take?
I took IELTS. I don't actually know what the letters stand for, but it's an important international English exam.
Why did you take it?
I want to work as an air traffic controller, and you need a good qualification in English. I need to get at least a 6.5 in the exam.
Do you think you'll get it?
I think so. I'm quite optimistic. I think I did the exam quite well.
When will you get the results?
In 2 weeks' time, they send them by post.
How will you celebrate if you pass?
I'll go out for dinner with my girlfriend.
And what will you do if you don't get a 6.5? Will you carry on studying English?
Yes, of course. I need it. I'll carry on studying and I'll take the exam again as soon as I can.
Good luck.
Remember that we are working on this activity as a practice, right? You have it there on the platform for you to check it out. Here you have the extract of the first conditional, the last time we just made the first introduction. And let's take a look at activity 5C. Listen and complete the sentences.
.13 1.
They won't give me a place unless I get at least 3 A's.
2.
When the post comes, I'll take the letter upstairs and open it.
3.
I don't want to plan any celebrations until I get the results.
4.
If I don't get into Cambridge, my parents will kill me.
5.
I'll take the exam again as soon as I can.
One more time the track.
4.13 1.
They won't give me a place unless I get at least 3 A's.
2.
When the post comes, I'll take the letter upstairs and open it.
3.
I don't want to plan any celebrations until I get the results.
4.
If I don't get into Cambridge, my parents will kill me.
5.
I'll take the exam again as soon as I can.
Okay, starting now, we got the 15 minutes. Let's work on this one, please. Okay, let's retake it. Enough time for this. I go back to the platform. We got an activity. Tal cual lo indiqué, cuando estén listos empiezan. So let's continue. Grammar Bank 1A. Take a look at my stone. And then you have it. What we have to remember, only the structure of the first conditional, right? In the part of if, present simple, and on the other part, I work with future will. Yep. On this one, let me check something just to be sure about the contraction. Maybe the condition is the contraction for this one. Just checking if you have to use. Okay, so on this one, work normally on it. I mean, contraction or full form. And then I will check manually. Yep. So starting now, we get 15 minutes for this activity. We're working on activity Grammar Bank 1A. Okay, after the recess, we continue. Please, the ones that are able to, your camera is on, and let me share my screen. Let's take a look. Let's retake from Grammar Bank 1B. Take a look at my review, my attempt, sorry. I opened it up to see what the activity is about. There you have. You have 6 tabs that we are going to drag according to the ones that we are going to complete. You have 2 options. As you can see in each one of the sentences, you have the dash. And for example, in number 1, don't turn over the exam after or until the teacher tells you. Yeah. So then you have it. So I consider that here goes until. Yeah. If I consider that here goes after, select after. That is up to you. Yeah. Like that, we go in each one of them to drag these tabs, yeah, to the spaces. You have the options there, before, after, but you have the tabs here to continue on it. Okay. So let's start. We got 15 minutes for this activity. Grammar Bank 1B. Okay, let's continue. I go back to the platform course. And let's take a look at what we have. We're working on the section of grammar. And we finish Grammar Bank 1B. Yep. So let's get to reading and speaking. Read the article and put the phrases of both in the correct places. Yep. Read the article and put the phrases of both in the correct places. Let me take a look at the article so I can show to you the big option of it. Here you have it. Your 12-year-old daughter is delighted. She got A- in math. Let me see if we have that option here. It's about this part, as you can see. Yeah. Your 12-year-old daughter is delighted. She got an A- in math. second prize in a history competition, and top marks in her piano exam. Do you A, say well done, give her a hug, and tell her she doesn't need to practice the piano today and can go to a friend's house, or B, ask why she didn't get an A in math? Yep. So this is the one that you have here on the platform. And according to the story, we are going to place the sentences that we can drag. Yeah. That we can drag. So let's let's work on it. For this one, you get 15 minutes starting now. Yep. Activity 6B, read the article and put the phrases of both in the correct places. Okay. Enough time, we continue. Let's take the activity 6C, match the words and the meaning. Yep. Let me start my attempt. Let's take a look at the vocabulary, the one that is proposed in here. Exceptional qualities, not allowed, become interested, disagreement, feel bitterness, exceptionally good, resist authority, firm decision, and proficient. Yep. And the options that we have too: controversy, determined, forbidden, outstanding, prodigies, excelled, rebelled, took up, and resent. Yep. So let's start on this one. Starting now, we got 15 minutes. Yep. Maybe you have some answers. So what we use for controversy? What will be a meaning for controversy? Thank you. Determine. Determine. Correct. Firm decision. Forbidden. When something is forbidden, means okay. So there you have a couple. Outstanding will be exceptionally good. There you have some, right? For you to complete the others. Controversy, disagreement, determined, firm decision, forbidden, not allowed, and outstanding, exceptionally good. The others for you. That's the time that we have for this activity for 6C. Let me go back to the main. With that activity, with activity 6C, we finished the activities regarding to the unit 7A. Yep. After that, we have the workbook that I'm gonna make it visible for you now. Give me just a minute so you can observe all the activities. Okay. Now that is available for you, that is visible for you, all the activities. On this one, we're gonna work as a teamwork. I'm gonna make groups of 3 students, and the idea is to cooperate. But please tell me if one student is not cooperating, so I can take this person out of the group and he or she works by himself, right? Just in case. Let me know that, okay? So we're gonna be working on this one, on Unit 7A workbook. We're gonna be working as a team, yep. But let me know as you advance, okay? I'm gonna conform the teams. Let me create, let me just move one person. There you go. I'm gonna start the teams. Please accept the invitation in the group section. Accept the invitation, your teams. Valeria Vélez, Karen Macias.